Hi, thank you for buying a jade egg from me. So I've created this little video just to get you started with how to prepare your egg. So the just to set a little bit of the scene about this, I would really invite you to come to this practice with an open mind and curiosity. This practice is your practice, and there's many different ways you can look at it and approach it. So really find what resonates for you and make whatever you learn your own. It's a practice that's evolving. So there may be different reasons why you're here and you've bought a jade egg and what you've heard about a jade egg. So some of the key reasons that women come to this practice are they may have weak vaginas, they may be experiencing incontinence or have low-level prolapses. They may have numb or desensitized vaginas for all sorts of different reasons. That's really common. The jade egg can really help to strengthen our vaginas and also to awaken her, bring back sensitivity and aliveness to her. And if she's already alive, the practices will just make her more alive, and with that, you more alive. So there's amazing practices which are about cultivating our energy in our bodies through the practice that can really help with our overall health and well-being, that can promote the hormones, the pleasure hormones in our system. Some people come to the practice for, it's just a self-love practice, which it absolutely is, to help them to connect to their bodies and their vaginas in a different way, in a different quality. For me, I find it as a very yin practice. It invites me to really be with my body and to deepen my connection, really listen to her. We live in a culture where it's about pushing our yang all the time, just keep going, push through. No matter what's going on, or that you're bleeding and all these different things. And the Taoists say, don't push your yang, it's about replenishing your yin. And that for me is the crux of the practice for me. So there's many different reasons why. And it's also just to help us, just to really, our vaginas are like a superpower that we just do not tap into. And when we're really connected to our vaginas, magic really happens. I mean, she can be like an oracle. She has her own little ecology and intelligence. So for example, I use her as a checker for questions like, does something feel right? And she will respond, and you can really cultivate that relationship. And she's never wrong. So and it's a really playful practice actually as well. It's about having some fun and discovery too. So I just want to share a little bit about how to set your egg up. So I'm just going to get this egg here, and first of all, you want to boil your egg, and you don't want to put it in a pan that's boiling and rattling around. You want to get some thread. So you've got your dental floss, unwaxed dental floss. It needs to be unwaxed because otherwise you've got chemicals and things that are going inside your yoni. You want to pull the thread down till about your elbow, so it's from your fingertips to your elbow. Break the thread off, and then you're going to double the thread over. So you've got the two ends together, and then you're going to put those two ends through your egg, through the holes at the top of the egg. Now for some of you, you may have, the ones that I sell, you've all got holes at the top, so the string hangs like that. But for some women, the holes are drilled long ways with some of the eggs in case you've got another egg, so you know. Then you're going to get so it's not showing brilliant against this wall, but you're going to get the thread, put your fingers through the loop, and then you're going to get the two loose ends, and you're going to pull them through the loop, so then you've got a secure thread. So when you've got that thread, that's how you want it for when you put it inside you. But for putting it in a pan, what I suggest is you get something like a spoon, and then you tie the egg. You obviously need to do a knot to tie it around the spoon. And then you can rest the spoon on top of the pan, and then the egg will dangle in the boiling water. So you can have the water gently boiling, or you can have it just boil it and then switch it off, and then just sit the egg in there. And it's just to sterilize it when you start, because your vagina is its own little ecosystem and is sensitive. So it's really important to to sterilize it the first time. Also, just to say, really to make sure it cools down before you put it inside you, because it can be super, super hot when you've put it in that boiling water. So you really need to give it time to properly cool down. And just to say, you know, when you finish with the egg, after the practice, to clean the egg, you can, you want to take the string out, so you get a new string every time if you're using dental floss. You can get silk thread. If you use silk thread, you can wash the thread in the egg and the thread can last for a few times. But if you've got the unwaxed dental floss, take that out, put it in the bin, then wash the egg in warm water, warm soapy water. So you can get Dr. Bronner's. They do a little tea tree soap, and it's in a bottle. So Dr. Bronner's, spelled Brunner. And I recommend that because it's totally natural, but there are other ones out there. So any natural sort of organic type soaps, and this is a liquid one, just wash the egg in a bit of warm water. And I find what works really well to clear the holes out is the little TP brushes for cleaning your teeth, the ones that go in between the teeth. The TP brushes just beautifully go into the holes and clean them out, because you don't want any bacteria or anything there. So it's really important to give your egg a good clean. And then every now and then you might want to boil her, just to boil it, just to keep it fresh. But you don't need to do it every time, and just trust your body with that. Other ways to clean the egg are also energetically. So for example, you might do something like smudge the egg. If you use something like smudge, you might put the beautiful to charge your egg in the moon. Beautiful to bathe your egg in lovely waters, to sit your egg in the sun. All the things that you might do with crystals are fantastic to do with the egg. So also would like to just share just a few sort of things to be aware of when working with the egg. If you've got any pain or discomfort, then I would seek some advice. It shouldn't be painful. And if you are working with existing pain in your vagina, you know, a lot of these practices you can do just with your finger to start with, and that can be a great way to take a great first step. You know, there's no rushing at all with this. It's about going as fast as the slowest part of you. There's no goal with this. It's a real just listening and unfolding. Just to be mindful of not using the egg when you're pregnant. I have heard of women who do use the egg early on in pregnancy. The reason you don't use it when you're pregnant is because all of the energy wants to stay in the womb with the baby and the baby's growth. And these practices circulate energy. And so the circulation is going to take the attention and the energy away from the baby. So you might want to, so it's a good time to stop the practices. But again, with all of this, really listen to your own body. And what I have heard is women using it early on in pregnancy, not sort of late on in pregnancy. But you could do your own research, ask around as well. If your vulva, your vagina, your bladder is inflamed or affected, certainly not to do the practices. Just give your time for your body to heal. But there's other practices you can do that can help with that healing process other than using the jade egg. If you have a prolapse, there's mixed views on that. I've heard people say never with a prolapse. I've heard people say yes if you've got minor prolapses. I've heard people who said it can be used with more medium sort of prolapses. So again, really to seek advice on this and listen to your body as well. I also around menstruating. So again, I've heard of women who do use the egg when they're menstruating. Personally, my body says no. My energy's going down when I'm bleeding, and I really want time to just let that energy clear out, because it's also about clearing out when you're bleeding and letting go, whether it's emotions or physical things. So I feel that my body's really welcomes a rest from the practices. And also I love to do some of the other practices like kidney breathing and breast massage at that time. However, you know, if your body feels the call for that, then trust, you know, listen to yourself. If you've had any pelvic surgery, absolutely, or things like surgery, fibroids and cysts and that sort of thing, then you would want to give your body time to heal. And again, after birth, the recommendation is to wait about 6 weeks. But obviously, if you were cut or you had anything like any sort of problems in the birth that have left you with cuts or scars and different things, then you may well want to give yourself longer, and again, listen to your body. Also, finally, if you have a coil, some people say don't practice the jade egg. I would say that it's fine to practice the jade egg with a coil in. Where the practices that you might be conscious of is weightlifting. When you're doing vaginal weightlifting, as the weights with the heavy weights, my teacher says not to do with the practices, but some of the smaller weightlifting practices. But they're the more advanced practices, and they're definitely ones to learn with a teacher. Also, anything else? Yeah, they're the key ones. So. Next, just to share a little bit about the practices and putting the egg in. Also, if you put the egg in, so there's lots of practices to prepare the body, and people want to go straight for the jade egg practices, straight for the sexual energy practices, but the Taoists say that sexual energy amplifies emotions. So there's loads of practices to prepare the body to allow the egg in and to get the most from the practices. So if you are full of anger or sadness and different things, the jade egg can actually amplify that. And actually, the practices that prepare the body, I think, are incredible. There's many days I just do those practices. And so it's like you're missing out on a whole delicious load of goodies by jumping straight to the jade egg. And I know that my body really loves the preparatory practices. So there's movement practices, there's meditation practices like the inner smile, there's different types of breast massage practices, ovarian breathing, all sorts of different things. So don't hurry this, explore some of the other practices. I would really encourage you as well. I would also suggest that when you insert the egg, that you ask your body if your body's ready. My body does say no sometimes, and to really listen to that. And it's not about just popping the egg in. It's about letting the body invite the egg in and taking this really slowly and just listening to your body step by step, allowing your body to open. So often with women's bodies, we have sex, we have touch when our bodies just aren't fully ready. So this practice really teaches us lots that can really help enhance our self-pleasure, our lovemaking, our partner intimacy. And when the egg's inside, it's really common that you don't feel it the first time, so don't be alarmed. You know, if you put a tampon in, you don't feel it as well, so just to be mindful of that. Also, a couple of other things to share. When women ask me, shall I wear the egg in the daytime? Yes, it's fine to wear the egg in the daytime, but I would say if you're not going to do anything with it, what's the point? Sometimes I've known women going on dates or different things, they've just felt really nice having the egg in. That's different. Or if you go out and you've got the egg in and you might do some practices when you're sat in the car or when you've got a few minutes, that's different. But if you're just going to wear it every day, what my understanding is that actually it's not going to be it's not going to help with the muscles. So if you're going to use it, you want to consciously use it when you wear it. Don't wear it out unless you've worn it around the house and you know that it will stay in all the time. So that's really something to be mindful of. And the same with sleeping in it. Because when you sleep with it in, it just rests on your muscles. So it's just weighing on your muscles. If you're going to use it every now and then, so some women might use it for dreaming. So they might pop a question into their egg and put it inside, which can be really powerful practice. But again, not necessarily doing that every single night. And it can also be really nice just to put your egg under your pillow and sleep with your egg under your pillow. Also, finally, just to be mindful of when you go to the toilet. If you're going to go to the toilet, if you've got your egg in, be careful because it can shoot out if you forget it's in there. And so it's very unlikely to crack. It's a very hard egg, the stone, the jade, but just be aware of that. It certainly happened to me. So you can go to the toilet and just hold the string, but sometimes you forget it's in there. So just be conscious of that. And then finally, just to encourage you to really explore this, to study, to read, to go to workshops, to get some practices. from whether it's books, teachers, or whatever, because there's so much juicy stuff to learn with this. It's a wonderful practice that can really help as well navigate different stages of life, menopause, all sorts of different things. So I really encourage you to experiment, explore, and enjoy. I run workshops in Liverpool, Manchester, and I'm going to be doing some stuff online. So do keep in touch with me, and if you've got any questions at all, please let me know, and really happy to support you. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Bye.